Here's your wrestling news for October 7th, 2022, and we're kicking off today with AEW, as there was yet another backstage fight this week, this time prior to the Dynamite taping. Before the show, Andrade El Idolo and Sammy Guevara had an altercation, which resulted in the former NXT champion being sent home. Now more details have come to light, as during Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that both men had been warned on Tuesday night that any violence wouldn't be tolerated. Both Guevara and Andrade said there would be no fighting, which obviously wasn't the case. While initial reports said that both men threw fists, this update clarified that only Andrade fought, throwing 2 or 3 punches, and that Guevara did not fight back. This explains why Andrade but not Guevara were sent home, as the Spanish God instead main evented Dynamite as planned. If this is Andrade's latest attempt to get out of AEW as many believe, then the Mexican wrestler will be disappointed, as AEW reportedly told El Idolo on Tuesday night that he will not get fired for causing a fight backstage. We do know that Andrade's much-promoted match with Preston Vance scheduled for Rampage has been cancelled, and many expect El Idolo to be suspended for his actions, as was the case with the all-out backstage fight. Andrade may have hopes to return to WWE, but it won't be anytime soon, and based off what's happened, companies may not be lining up to work with him. Now this week, WWE changed all of their commentary teams as part of their upcoming season premieres of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, but one name fans won't be hearing from anymore is Jimmy Smith. In the shakeup, Smith's name was missing from the lineups for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and on Twitter not long after, the former MMA commentator confirmed his exit from WWE. Smith had nothing but kind words for WWE and the fans, but when speaking on SiriusXM, said his departure was a shock to him. "I didn't expect to do this at all. I had no idea I would be doing professional wrestling. It all came out of the blue. The audition came out of the blue. Getting on Raw came out of the blue, and me leaving is out of the blue." Smith added that he's fine with losing the role on Raw, as he didn't expect to be there at all, so can't get too mad to see Kevin Patrick replace him. Smith joined WWE in May 2021, replacing the much-criticized Adnan Virk, and received praise for his work on Raw, but his time donning the WWE headset has come to an end. Smith may have said that he didn't expect to depart WWE at all, but he was aware that his time with the company was coming to an end. When appearing on his Unlocking the Cage show, Smith addressed his exit and said that he found out a few days before anyone else, though only by accident. He said, "Triple H accidentally told me before the show Monday. He screwed up and told me about the commentary changes. He didn't mean to. I just go, hey, I just talked to Riddle and he gave me this line about how he out-wrestled John Jones twice. And Triple H goes, okay, cool, give that note to Cole. And I went, why would I have to give that note to Cole if I'm calling the match on Saturday? Oh, I'm not calling the match on Saturday. Oh, I'm probably fired. In about 2 seconds, my brain went, that's so, okay. And I was like, all right. So I knew basically the whole show on Monday night that I wasn't coming back, so when I got the call Tuesday, I was not particularly surprised." Despite being aware that he was losing his job, Smith still did his part on this week's Raw, something we imagine WWE will acknowledge if they ever consider rehiring him. Jimmy Smith's time with WWE may be over, but the former Raw commentator may not be out of a job for long. Ringside News has learned that Smith has been approached by Cam Soda, and no, this isn't a company selling Cameroon's delicious carbonated beverages, but instead an adult live streaming webcam platform. The letter sent to Smith offers him the chance to commentate on private adult webcam sessions for 1 year, as well as live events including their shows Car Wars and Beer Pong. In return, Cam Soda is willing to pay Smith up to $500,000, and the letter came from Cam Soda's vice president, Darren Parker. It's certainly a unique option for Smith, who has no shortage of experience calling the play-by-play of people throwing each other about, and while many commentators find new promotions post-WWE, that may not be the case this time. Smith is out of Raw's commentary team, but Kevin Patrick is replacing the MMA announcer. The Irishman will be working alongside Corey Graves moving forward, and on Twitter said that he is honored and so excited to be calling the action on Raw. Patrick has served mostly as a backstage interviewer and pre-show panelist since coming to WWE, but did commentate for the July 4th, 2022 edition of the Red Brand. Now Patrick will join a long list including Bobby Heenan, Jim Ross, and Michael Cole as a Raw commentator, and we can only hope he's up to the challenge. With Patrick now serving as a Raw commentator, His spot needs to be filled, and WWE have turned to a popular name from their past to do the role. In a report from Variety, it was announced that Kelley will be performing on-screen interviews and will make her return after leaving WWE in 2020. On Twitter, Kelley made it clear that she's back, using the phrase she opened up countless WWE videos with, "Hey guys, Kelley here." Kelley's return shouldn't come as too much of a surprise, as it was reported not too long ago that Stephanie McMahon is a huge fan of hers, and the WWE CEO even promised to bring her back one day. That's exactly what happened, as Kelley will now be doing interviews on Raw, and so will Byron Saxton, who, like Smith, has been removed from the Raw commentary team. Mike Rome has been confirmed as the ring announcer for Raw, and the red brand will be sounding much different starting from next week's season premiere. We've got some sad news to report as NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose is mourning the loss of her brother Gary. This week's NXT was meant to see Rose compete in a 6-woman tag, but she was pulled from the match with a kayfabe attack by Alba Fire. On Instagram, Rose disclosed that her brother has passed and used a quote from Angela Miller to pay tribute to him. Given her brother's passing, it makes sense that Rose didn't compete at NXT, and in the segment with Fire, Rose wasn't shown in the vehicle at all, implying she wasn't at the tapings. No cause of death has been given at this time, but this is obviously a huge loss to Mandy, and we're sending the NXT Women's Champion our deepest condolences. This Saturday, Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey will compete for the SmackDown Women's Championship in the third premium live event match between them. Morgan has 2 wins, albeit controversial ones, against Rousey, defeating her at Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, and Rousey isn't exactly thrilled with what she considers a double standard. On her latest gaming stream, Rousey argued that Morgan has been using heel tendencies but has faced no backlash from fans, and added, "I feel like there's a double standard that everyone else can attack me from behind, they hit me with bats and this other stuff, and oh, like Liv, commendable, inspiring babyface, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't even be a heel when I'm a heel." While Morgan is the champion, Rousey is the favorite to leave with the gold, and we'll have to see if the UFC legend can finally put away the plucky champion in the Extreme Rules match. Morgan's journey to the top of the women's division was a long time coming for her, but it didn't take long for some fans to turn on Liv. While she hasn't been booed for her heelish antics during the Rousey feud, Morgan did start to get somewhat of a mixed reaction after SummerSlam, where she got a win over Rousey thanks to some botched refereeing. While speaking to cage-side seats, Morgan addressed the boos she received following SummerSlam and felt that it was what she needed. "It was a week after SummerSlam, actually. It was cutting that promo in the ring, it was having fans pissed at me, it was having such a reality dose to me that I'll never forget, but was so grateful and appreciative to have that experience in a weird way. Which I know sounds weird because I was getting booed, but it was just like what I needed, I feel like, to kind of really like, this is real, you're the champion, you're representing the company, you're representing this title, everything that you do matters." Many fans' issue with Morgan is that she's been a lucky champion, only winning the title by cashing in the Money in the Bank on a weekend Rousey, and only winning at SummerSlam because of a botch. Whether Morgan can find a way to win in this Saturday's Extreme Rules match, only time will tell, but she is ready for whatever reaction the fans have for her. After facing ROH World Champion Chris Jericho during last week's AEW Dynamite, Bandido was reportedly offered an AEW contract immediately after his match, as Tony Khan was blown away by his performance. At the time, many believed that Bandido would be quick to sign the deal, but that isn't the case. Despite reports that he had signed, Dave Meltzer has clarified that an agreement has not been reached and that a source close to Bandido has advised him not to sign the deal. AEW isn't the only company wanting to work with the former ROH World Champion, as in an interview with Mas Lucha, Bandido confirmed that WWE has also made him an offer. Khan reportedly told Bandido, "I need you at AEW." Strong words from the company president, but not enough to get him to sign. At this time, Bandido remains a free agent and has proven to be popular with both companies, but it will be his decision where he goes next. Bandido may become a fully fledged AEW wrestler soon enough, but that's not the only hot prospect the company has their eyes on. Konosuke Takeshita has made appearances for the company for over a year now, with his biggest match coming at August's Battle of the Belts 3. On that night, Takeshita failed to dethrone then Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli, but it won't be long before we see him in AEW again. During the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, it was confirmed that Takeshita is on his way back to AEW and that his next match will happen within a couple of weeks. As to what plans Tony Khan has for Takeshita, that remains to be seen, but fans of the Japanese star will be seeing him back on TNT and TBS very soon. In June, mere months after his AEW debut, Jeff Hardy was arrested and charged with his third DUI arrest in a decade after leaving a local Dave & Buster's and blowing way over the blood alcohol limit. In the time since then, fans have wondered what will become of Jeff, but all we know is that he won't be in the ring anytime soon. PW Insider reports that until Hardy's legal issues are dealt with, an AEW appearance is off the table, and that he has a pre-trial hearing scheduled for October 19th. PW Insider was also told that despite the situation, Hardy remains with AEW, where he has been suspended without pay. Hardy has been seen seeking treatment from his substance problems, and fans are hopeful he will be back, but that won't be the case until his legal matters are a thing of the past. Bobby Fish parted ways with AEW in August, less than a year after joining the company. Fish had reportedly hoped to leave and return to WWE with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, both of whom said they were staying in AEW. The former NXT Tag Champion recently made his debut for Impact Wrestling, but now Fish is set to compete in a different kind of ring. Fightful were the first to report that Fish is set to make his boxing debut in the United Arab Emirates and will compete in the Global Titans Fight Series. Fish's first match will be against Ghana's Boateng Prempeh, and the fight will take place at the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai on November 13th. Fish comes from an MMA background and is quite technically sound, so a transition to boxing could be perfect for the now former WWE and AEW star. It was only a few weeks ago that Saraya made her debut, but noticeably did not get physical during her first or second appearance. Not only did Saraya not trade blows with anyone, but nobody touched her, leading to the belief that she is still not medically cleared to compete. During last night's Dynamite, Britt Baker was asked about the British wrestler's condition and said that Saraya isn't cleared to compete, but the former champion spoke too soon. After a women's trios match, Saraya went after Baker and the two traded blows, the first time in close to 5 years that the former WWE Divas champion has gotten physical. With this segment, it looks like Saraya may have been cleared after all, and that a match between herself and Baker, something which fans had been hoping for during her WWE run, may not be too far away after all. In July, Ric Flair had what was promoted as his last match, but hasn't exactly been quiet about a possible return. Mere days after his retirement, Flair teased coming out of retirement, inspired by the news that his former rival Ricky Steamboat will wrestle next month in his first match in 12 years. Celebrating 50 years in the industry recently, Flair said he'll never truly retire, and during the latest To Be the Man podcast, clarified his stance. When I say it inspires me to want to do it again, it's not that I couldn't. I will stand by this. I wish I hadn't said it was my last match, and I don't want to disappoint a bunch of fans by doing it again. Flair may want to wrestle again and believes he's physically capable of doing so, but understands how a return to the ring would go down a handful of months after his emotional last match. Ironically, Flair's last match came about because he wanted to end his career on his own terms, but that's proving to be easier said than done for the dirtiest player in the game. At this Saturday's Extreme Rules, Daniel Cormier will make his WWE debut, appearing as the guest official for the Fight Pit match. Cormier is a known wrestling fan, and many expect this to be the start of something bigger for the former UFC heavyweight champion, and fans have Seth Rollins to thank for getting him on board. In a recent interview with Mark Raimondi of ESPN MMA, Cormier discussed how his Extreme Rules appearance came about. It wasn't really from the people in charge, it was Seth Rollins. He texted me, goes, "Real life fighting in the Fight Pit, and we may be in the market for a special guest referee. Would you have any interest in it?" So I said, yeah, I'd be interested in doing it. While Cormier will be the guest official for the match, many predict that this will be the launch of a part-time in-ring career, with a match against Brock Lesnar being rumored. Hopefully we have a better idea of what the future holds for Cormier after this weekend's Extreme Rules Premium Live event, but don't expect the UFC veteran to play favorites when the man who brought him into WWE takes on Matt Riddle. And we're ending today with Kane, who yesterday celebrated a milestone in his career. It was on October 5th, 25 years ago, that the Big Red Machine made his debut for WWE, interrupting the first ever Hell in a Cell match and confronting his brother, The Undertaker. In a statement on WWE.com, the company announced that the next few weeks will be a celebration of the former world champion, with special top 10 lists and clips of the most iconic moments from the Devil's favorite demon. After a quarter century in wrestling, Kane's in-ring career is seemingly over, but fans will get to relive some of their favorite moments of the WWE Hall of Famer. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.